Spencer. Let's go and have some adventures. Let's go and have some adventures with Thomas. Let's go and have some adventures. Sodor's a fun place to be. Sodor's greatest adventures. Sodor's greatest adventures.
One day at Emmett shed, the former members were called to the sheds. As they were called to the sheds sometimes, when the flight control arrived in his car and he stepped out, he had some news for the engines. As you all know, said the flight control, the technology fail was a huge success, said the flight controller. However, I need all of you to help at the castle and take preparations down of it. Can the castle engines do it themselves? Beat Percy. Of course, but they got some Mattel work to do as well, said the flight controller. So I'm sending you engines to go and help at the castle with the preparations, take the things down. And the Earl, as I've been hearing, is saying he's going to keep the wheel I meant for now. Yes, sir, said the engine. You can count on us, sir, said the formula members. Oh, said the flight controller. When I mean all of you, I don't mean all of you. The formula members were puzzled. Unfortunately, said the flight controller, I only need the steam team for this job. The formula members were surprised. But we've always been helping the steam team. Yes, said James. Why can we not help them today? Because, said the flight controller, I need some of you engines to do some of their work. The formula members were upset. They knew they had to follow orders. The flight controller walked over to them. Henry, James, I need you two to take Gordon and Rebecca's express, as well as some of their other duties. Toby, you are to do some work on Thomas's branch line, taking his patch, as well as do some of Percy's work. And Edward, I need you to pull Emily's coaches, as well as probably doing some of Spencer's duties as well. But don't worry, said the flight controller. The other engines will be helping as well. Well, Boco will look after Edward's branch line, Ivor will look after James's branch line, and Splatter and Dodger Mavis will look after the quarry on Thomas's branch line, and things will be a-okay, said the flight controller. Now, hope you all don't mind some of the change of plans, and make so that nothing happens. Yes, sir, said the engines. The factor walked away. The family members were not happy, but they knew that to follow orders. Thomas and Percy chuckled a bit. So, upset you're not going to help us at the castle? Said Thomas cheekily. The family members heard this. We may be no longer the steam team. We may not be longer at Tip Michelle's or part of the steam team, said Henry. But surely we still count. I mean, family members still count, you know. Precisely, said James. But, said Thomas, you probably ought to always be part of the steam team. Yes, said Percy. Why do you even bother leaving then? The family members were cross. How dare you, said Toby, after us helping you, like what happened down at Brendan Docks when Percy had that accident. Don't remind me of that, said Percy crossly. Or what about when me and Henry had to help you out of the sea, all because you got scared by some ghosts? Those probably as usual, said Henry. Said Percy. See, some of the steam team members were offended by this. Well, said Emily, at least some of us helped you with your mistakes. Like, what about the sports game one, said Emily. Remember, I helped you with the headsets? Oh, that, said Henry. And besides, engines like me, Rebecca, and Spencer will be probably faster up the castle. So, precisely, said Spencer. Or even tank engines to even better us than Toby, like me, Percy, and Nia. The Steam team chuckled a bit. The Formula members were not happy about this. Before the Formula members could say anything else, the Steam team were already puffing away to the castle. Toby, Henry, and James were still offended. Emmett didn't say anything since he didn't want to get into this fight. Well, said Henry, we show-offs. But we still got too much work to do. Don't forget, said Henry, other ones will be helping us as well. But we have to do all the Steam team's work as well, said James. While we have to do so. While they're at the castle, said James. Huh, so much fun, as they say. Edward chuckled a bit. Oh, you three don't understand, do you? Besides, if you work at the castle, like, it may be a bit boring, you know. Like, example, like you have to stay around the castle all day taking up preparations. Yes, that may be a bit sad we won't be helping out there. But what's more important is it doesn't matter what job we have, we are still really useful, even when we're not part of the Steam team anymore. I suppose you're right, said the Formula members. But we have to do all of their work, said James. Bob and Ivor Bob and Ivor need to be back on my branch line. We're in trouble on Thomas's branch line, said Toby. What happened if other engines like Rosie needs me at Vickerstown, said Henry. Edward chuckled. Nothing's going to bad happen. Besides, other engines are experienced, you know. Besides, I know I can trust Philip. Yes, he may be a bit, full of his head sometimes, but I can still trust him. Besides, he works on my branch line. I know I can trust him. The three engines smiled at Edward, knowing that the oldest engine on Sodor knew was right. You're right, Edward, said Henry. You have good advice for all of us. And you are the oldest engine on Sodor, said James. Well, as the oldest, said Edward, it's my duty to. Now, said Edward, come along, Formula members. But we can't let the fat controller down. You got it. And the rest of the engines follow Edward. Well, said Edward, today's very hard day, isn't it? Well, it looks like we're running on time, said Toby. Man, said James, it is hard work doing the same team jobs. I mean, they have loads of them. Pony Express is hard work, said Henry. Gordon and Becca must be strong and fast to do it. Oh well, said Edward. I just hope the steam team are doing fine up at the castle, said Edward. Anyways, I better go and check on Philip on the Bernstein, see how's he doing. This to check my Bernstein, you know. That's right, said Toby. I suppose you better look after the yards here. Good idea, said Henry. Here, said James. Alright then, see you guys later. Bye. And Edward puffed away. Meanwhile, up at the castle, the steam team already got their jobs from the Earl, and now were shunting trucks with stuffs in them to make sure the preparations are taken down on time. Stephen, Glenn, and Millie were busy as well doing some of their regular jobs, as they were also helping, carrying some workmen around to the places they're needed, carrying other materials. Rocky was also there helping take some larger things down if they're too high for workmen to get. He put some of the things on some of the other engines, those trucks, like Spencer. Okay, Spencer, said Rocky. There you go, there's all the stuff you need. Thank you, Rocky, said Spencer, and Spencer puffed away. The engines, however, still wanted to prove to the family members that they don't need help from them. So, they were kind of rushing. At the dinosaur park, Emily was helping to rebuild some of the dinosaurs. They were soon all done, and he can take the trucks away. Okay, said Emily, but Emily was also rushing as well. However, her and the rest of the steam team were about to cause trouble. Sonny was also helping at the castle, so the Fat Controller was giving him a trial to see how really useful he can be, and he was making up for lost time. And he was making up for all the mistakes he did working with Baz the Bunny, the two crooks who tried to steal Luke's plans once. However, when the workmen got off, they went to shrink the coaches away. The castle engines were in the siding, resting. Sonny puffed off beside Stephen with the coaches as he was uncoupled from them. Hey, you guys, says Sonny. Hey, Sonny, they said. Sonny saw the steam team were rushing. What's gone to their funnels today? They're seem going fast, aren't they? I know, says Stephen. I don't know why, though. I'll say too, said Glenn. This is not like the steam team as usual. I hope everything's alright, said Millie. Like, they could be missing the family members, you know. Well, don't forget, they did have to do some of the other engines' work, said Glenn. Oh, yes, said Stephen. I still remember me and Glenn's glorious days when we were engines like those. Oh, I miss those days. Me too, Glenn. Me too, Stephen, said Glenn. But as long as we're useful up at the castle, nothing should go wrong to us. Anyways, I suppose we should rest. What are you doing, Sonny? Not too much, says Sonny. Just having a rest, you know. Oh, okay then. As the four engines rest while the steam team were working, but too fast. Meanwhile, the steam team, the family members were still working, while Henry, James, and Toby decided to look after the yards. They still got some of the other works to do. Toby even took trucks from the Bernstein as well, since, acquiring all that stuff. Meanwhile, Edward arrived at his yard to make sure things were all right here. He then heard Philip shouting in the yards. Oh, hello, Edward, said Philip. Philip was just shouting. "Hello, Philip," said Edward. "I am just coming to check on how you're doing." "Everything's doing all right," said Philip. "The, the clay pits are doing fine. Bill and Ben are doing. Bill and Ben and Timothy are doing some runs down to Bundon Docks. Salty and Porter are doing fine, and Boco is just taking passion freight like usual. And I'm just pulling some trains as well, you know, pulling shunting." "Very good," said Edward. "Is there anything can I do?" "Oh, I don't want to disturb you because you have to work on the main line." Edward chuckled. "Well, there's always a chance to learn a wheel, you know." "Well," said Philip, "there is this goods train that needs to be taken to Ellsworth Yards." "I can do that then," said Edward. "Very well then," said Philip. It's over in that siding over there," said Philip. "Okay," and Edward went into the yard to pick up the goods train. Edward was soon coming up to the train. "Thank you for that, Philip," said Edward. "I better be going now. Goodbye." "Goodbye, Edward," said Philip, and Edward puffed away. Meanwhile, back at the castle, in the castle gates, or the castle drawbridge, Neil found a truck that was left on the sets of pointers to the platforms. "Oh dear," said Neil. "Now who left this truck here? I better move it," she said. However, there was trouble. She when she tried to when she coupled up, it wouldn't move. "The brakes are left on," said her driver. "You better move it," said the fireman woman. "Very well then," said the driver. As Neil's driver went to unlock the brake, but it got stuck. "Bother, it's jammed," said the driver. Then there was trouble. There was two whistles heard. "Oh no," said Neil. That's Gordon and Spencer's." And indeed it was. Gordon and Spencer came out all at Spencer one. They were racing, trying to finish their jobs. But then there was trouble. The two of them saw Neil. "Spencer, brake!" said Gordon. Spencer saw this. "What dirt?" said Spencer. "Oh no!" The two of them tried to brake. It was too late. Neil poured, and poured, but it was too late. Spencer and Gordon collisioned in Neil. They came off the tracks. Then there was trouble. The truck Neil was trying to push accidentally hit some chains that were for the drawbridge. "Wait, what's happening?" said Spencer. "Oh no," said Gordon. "That's happening, huh?" The three heads point out. It hit the train so hard that it snapped the drawbridge, which came up, and it was stuck. It couldn't come down. "Oh dear," said Gordon. "Now what have we done?" "We're so sorry," said Spencer. "It's fine," said Neil. "But now we're trapped." Meanwhile, Emily was coming round a section of points. She was carrying some more trucks when for some reason, she stopped. "What happened?" she said. His driver checked. It seems your brakes are a bit jammed." "I can't release you," said the driver. They tried and tried, but only made things worse. Then there was trouble. Rebecca was coming down the line. She applied her brakes. "Emily, look out!" Emily was surprised. The driver quickly tried harder and harder. She soon got the brakes unleashed. "Finally," he said, but it was too late. Emily raced through. Rebecca crashed into her. Luckily, nobody was hurt, but Rebecca was off the rails and and very damaged. Emily came off the rails as well. "Oh no," said Emily. She said. The only members left were Thomas and Percy, but they didn't know about this. Thomas and Percy were racing down the line, pushing one truck in front of them. There were some more surprises, and they were very special, but the two of them were rushing because they wanted to get their jobs and prove the family members their best, since they're the one who started it. But But when they saw two each other coming to a 6 points, they both were surprised. Thomas, said Percy. Percy, said Thomas. The two of them applied their brakes, but it was too late. The boat engines smashed their trucks, and Thomas and Percy came off the rails. Luckily, no one was hurt, but Thomas and Percy crashed so hard that both of their special materials were damaged. Oh no, said Thomas. Now what we're gonna do? We should make fun of the family members this morning, said Percy sadly. Yes, said Thomas, we shouldn't. Rocky was on break when he heard the crash. He heard all three crashes from the steam team. He knew they were in trouble. Hey up, anybody? Said Rocky. Can someone give me a push? There was a crash. Or, as right now, 3 crashes in fact. Indeed, Thomas and Percy and the rest of the steam team members knew it was their fault. They knew that Rocky can't get to them, and they knew Sonny and the castle engine can't help them either. They knew there was only one set of teams that can help them now. Maybe try calling the rest of the resuce center, said Emily. Yeah, I don't know about that, said Rocky. Besides, there's no fire here or anything. Says Sonny. Some of these paths are going to be too difficult for me to get through, he said. And me and Glynn won't be strong enough to push you though, said Stephen. Agreed, said Glynn. And I'm too small to push you, said Millie. We could take some trucks away, said Sonny. But the gate is but the drawbridge is stuck though. Now what we're going to force to do? We might as well get back to the side and stay out of act and just try to make sure nothing bad happens, said the castle engines. And besides, said Rocky, maybe some of the terrifying notes are down. The air came out. We heard what happened. Oh dear, he said. This is going to cause confusion and delay, he said. Now what we're going to do? Sonny knew he had an idea. I may not be able to help, but I could go to the rescue team and get help in case the phone lines are down. Good idea, said the Earth, but hurry back quickly. We still have work to do. I will, said Sonny. He raced off. Sonny soon found the rescue center. He headed towards Sodor once and made it. Hello there, Sonny, said Howard. The two of them had met before after the technology fell. You look a bit tired out. What's wrong? Sonny explained everything about the crash. So you're telling me all the steam team about action? Yes, said Sonny. And me or know the castle engine can help them. Howard started his wings. Don't worry, Sonny, said Howard. I'll go and find some help. And Howard raced off. Phew, said Sonny. I suppose I can go into the back control about this. And Sonny raced off. Meanwhile, Emmett was puffing down the tracks. He finished the goods train that he took him from Wellsford to Ellsbridge and was now heading back. And he was heading to Knapford to check on how the rest of the family was doing. When Howard saw him, he knew Emmett could be helpful. Edward, have you heard the news? Said Howard. What news? Said Edward. There's been an accident at Orsa Castle. Gordon, the new and Spencer are stuck behind the drawbridge. Rebecca crashed into Emily so hard that everything fell off the rails, and Thomas and Percy are also off the rails. What? Said Edward. Can the castle engines help? I heard Rocky was there. They won't be strong enough. Sonny told me everything, said Howard. And the telephone lines are down. The Earth can't call anyone. upon, and Belle and Flynn won't be helpful enough, and it'll probably take long for Judy and Jerome nor the Chinese breakdown coins to get there. Ever an idea? Follow me, Howard. I know what team we need for this. Howard raced after Edward. Meanwhile, in Apple's yard, James, Henry, and Toby were back there again. They were just doing some shunting. It was evening time. And Edward raced in. Guys, said Edward as he pulled up in the siding with Gordon always rests after the express. I got some bad news from Howard. Indeed, said Howard. Others asked the tree engines. There's been a huge accident up at the castle. Thomas and Percy collision to each other. Rebecca crashed into Emily, and Spencer, Gordon, and Neil are stuck behind the drawbridge. The engines were surprised. Huh, said Henry. Why should we help them? They were rude to us this morning. Yeah, said James. Why not get the rescue team? Because, said Edward, they won't be. They're not the right engine for the job. And besides, they're busy with their own work. And it would take too long for Junior Jerome and the Chinese breakdown coins to get there. Well, the Chinese breakdown coins are at my yards, and well, will probably take long. And the Junior Jerome are always at Ryan and Daisy's shed, said Henry. You see, said Edward. But the steam team may be the right team to help, but don't forget, we're the formula members. Who were the ones that helped when Percy was stuck behind those crates at Brendan Docks? With the steam team. We did, said James, who helped at the technology for some supplies. When it was being built. We did, said Henry. And who were the ones who went around the world together with the steam team to find Gordon? We did, said Toby. You see, said Edward. What? It doesn't matter if we're not part of the steam team anymore, said Edward. As long as we're useful to the Fat Controller's Railway, it doesn't matter what way it, nor even this, no matter what. This may take all night to help them, said Edward. But believe me, if the steam team is capable to help us, then we're capable to help them. They may never helped us before, but it's time to prove them that we can do anything. James, Henry, Toby agreed with Edward. Howard smiled. Right then, you lot. Edward, you better turn around. And we better get going then. You got that, Howard, said Edward. Edward puffed away to get turned around, as James and the others followed. Back at the castle, it was still a mess. No one still wasn't rescued. They hoped Sonny found help. However, they were in for a bit of surprise. The castle engines were still in their sidings, knew that they won't be much help. When they heard huffing noise. Stephen looked. I can see steam, he said. Surely can it be like maybe Toby's, if it's small enough? Somebody is bigger than that, said Stephen. Maybe Henry? Said Glyn. Wait, said Stephen. I don't think so. Glyn and Millie looked. They were surprised. I think it's the whole team, said Glyn. It's the Formula members, said Millie. Formula members to the rescue! Toby was so sorry what happened earlier. It's alright, you two. We forgive you what happened. Now, come along. We better get you out of here. Soon, the big mission was done. Everything's back to normal. All thanks to the former members. The former members puffed away. The castle engines thanked you them, and they were happy. But the steam team did not say one word. They were surprised by the amount of effort the former members put into each other to help them. They knew that the back control would not be happy with them. The next morning at Emmett Sheds, the back control called the former members again. The steam team were there. They didn't have too much bad damage to themselves. They knew they were in trouble. Asked for the former members was Henry, James, Edwin, and Toby were a bit worried. They thought the factory were not going to be happy with them because they left the jobs going to help at the castle. When the factory stepped out of his car, he talked to the steam team first. You lot, said the back controller, were very silly yesterday, he said crossly to the steam team. You are proving to me that I've been hearing from the castle engines, including the Earl and Sonny, that all of you were rushing your jobs, all because you're trying to be better than the former members. We're sorry, sir, said the steam team. We want to be the best. It doesn't matter who's the best, said the back controller. I've also heard that you were very rude to them yesterday morning when I left, said the back controller crossly. The former members did all your work yesterday as well as their own, including other engines. You should be thankful for that, said the back controller. The steam team knew it was their fault. We're sorry, they said. It's fine, said the former members. But the four former members were worried the factory would make it across them as well because they left their jobs yesterday to work help at the castle. But when the back controller turned to them, he was smiling with joy. You four may no longer live at Emmett Sheds, said the back controller. You may all have. You may live at Austin now. Edward, you may live at Wellsworth now. James, you may live at Florence Gate now. And Henry, you may at Vicarstown. It doesn't matter if you live at Emmett Sheds or not even part of the steam team, said the back controller. However, the four of you yesterday have proven me yesterday that all four of you were really useful engines. The former members were pleased. But sir, what about our jobs? Don't worry, said the back controller. The rest of the engines on Sodor took care of your jobs as well as their own, including the steam team. They didn't mind about doing your duties. They knew that you were needed at the castle. Sonny told me everything yesterday. I am proud of the four of you, said the back controller. For that, I heard you four were upset yesterday. You did not get the opportunity to work at the castle. So, said the back controller, I decided whenever I want the steam team to work on something special, I will make sure you four will get to be part of it as well. Really, sir? They said. Of course, said the back controller. I may rely on the steam team sometime, but, said the back controller, I can also rely on the formula members. The formula members were overjoyed. Let's give a big cheers for the formula members. Or the steam team blow their whistles. So, so, as everyone blow the whistle. So Henry, James, Edward, and Toby may no longer be part of the steam team, nor living in Titmus shed, but they knew they were a really useful team together, part of the Fat Controllers Railway.
Let's go, and have some adventures with Thomas and all his friends. Sodor's greatest adventure.